Ciao Bianconerizone, it's Julian Gennady here. We're coming to you live with the live Mercato today, the live show. Unfortunately, Justin Soforo can't join us today. He's a little busy, but we're gonna be describing what happened today for Juventus in the market. So hopefully we enjoy the show. Hopefully we get a lot of listeners and viewers. Ciao Bianconerizone, it's Julian Gennady here. Sorry. Yep. So what we're going to talk about today is Luis Alberto and what his deal is. We're also going to be talking about Arthur Melo and his rumors to go into PSG. And the big news that came around about an hour ago, we're going to be talking about Ronaldo potentially staying. That came from one of Fabrizio Romano's newest little employees there, little insiders. So we're going to see if he has some good sources or not. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about Luis Alberto. From what I know about the situation and from what was reported, is he's declined to report to Lazio camp, and Maurizio Sarri has no idea about. Well, he has an idea obviously about it, but he doesn't really know why and what's the matter with him. He would like for him to join the camp, obviously, because preseason started and he wants all his players there, especially his good ones, because Luis Alberto is a very good player. But I'm not sure if it's how do I want to say this? I don't know if it's a character issue right now with Luis Alberto, or if it's just he wants out. If I was him, obviously, I would want out. I would want to go to the Champions League squad, or at least a contending Serie A team, because Lazio is always a bridesmaid. They're always a maybe team. They're always like they're scary at the beginning of the season because no one's figured them out yet, and then at the end of the day, they always fall through because of their squad depth. So with Luis Alberto, I guess yes, he's been linked to Juventus, Inter, Milan, and I think Atletico Madrid. Most likely, he would go to Atletico Madrid because they have a little bit more money than all the Serie A teams currently. Inter owes money to teams, and us and Milan have just nothing to give. But my thoughts on Luis Alberto, the player, is he's absolutely exceptional. He drives play. He collects the ball in between the defense and midfield opposition. He creates goals. He creates chances, and he had 16 assists by himself last year in Serie A. So that was a stat that I was very surprised with. In total, in the past two seasons, he's had 30. No, what was it? Yeah, 35 odd goal contributions in 70 games. So he is an established player. He's an established player in Serie A, and of course, you want that. Justin Soforo, is Pogba coming home? We'll talk about that later. But welcome back, Clement, and hello to Sackett. But back to Luis Alberto. So yeah, he has the pedigree of Serie A player. Like he contributes to goals. He's a player that plays in between the defense and the midfield, like I said, and I would take him on Juventus, 100%. So his squad or his market value right now is 45 million euros. And I saw a report, I think it was yesterday, it came out that that Lazio would want 60 million, and that's ludicrous. He's 28 years old, turning 29. We're never going to pay that for a 29-year-old, or I hope not. Oh, of course we paid 100 for Ronaldo, but that's different. But we're never going to pay 60 million euros for a Luis Alberto type player. So I was thinking maybe since Sarri loves Bernardeschi, we can maybe slide him in there and then hopefully lower our price. Now, of course, we're not the Lazio Claudio Lotito owner, and we're not Agnelli, so we don't know what's actually going on there. The player himself, as I said, he likes to play in between the lines. He started off at Liverpool, I believe. No, is that right? Let me just flick on over here. He was signed by Liverpool from a La Liga team, and he didn't really do well in Liverpool. I remember watching him like a decade ago, I guess, when he first got there, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" He showed up and he made some cameo appearances, and he wasn't anything to really watch. And then he had a couple of loan stints in La Liga. I think one was with Real Sociedad. He actually was really good, in my opinion. And he really made himself a name. Well, not made himself a name, but like he his reputation was restored, let's say. So then, obviously, Lazio buys him for 4 million, and he's become a world class player, in my opinion, of course. Um, what do you guys think? Well, let's see what the comments are saying about Luis. Not much, eh? Well, regardless, I would take him at Juventus, no problem. Um, he can play different positions as well, especially with Allegri. Allegri will likes to play a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-1-2. So he can play out on a wing if you really have to. He's not going to track back. He's not going to play defensively very well, but he will be a creative offensive spark, which this team absolutely needs. Juventus is just dead with midfield, like dead wood. I don't know what Bentancur's problem was this year under Pirlo, but he was just oof. He was not good. Weston McKennie, I don't think he's creative. I just think he's a very energetic player. He's not going to create a goal scoring opportunity, but he will score. He'll get on the end of them and score. Well, Rabiot, box to box energy. He's not really creative. He's just a bulldog. He would cost too much, Rav. He would cost too much. We need to cover other positions. No, I agree, 100%. It's just if the market opportunity arises, I think I would 100% take him if the price is right. And where Sackett, he'd be really good for. Yeah, 100%. I agree. He creates goals, something that our midfield never did last year. And oh, I forgot Ramsey. Oh my God, Ramsey's awful. He's just a band-aid. And you see him play for Wales, and he played actually pretty good. I don't get it. Anyway, he's a J medical specialist. um, yeah, so he's not really a central midfielder. I wouldn't call him a central midfielder. I would call Luis Alberto more of an advanced midfielder, a winger, someone who, like I said before, was willing to take the ball on in the attacking third and drive at players. Um, he'll also play a ball that'll rip through defensive lines, and Morata's good at making those runs. So I could see him as a good fit on Juventus. Now, obviously, the business side of it, uh, I can't. Again, like Rob said, I don't think it's feasible for us to buy him outright. It'll have to be counterparts. It would have to be him demanding, similar to like a Papu Gomez situation in January. Um, he wanted to Papu Gomez in January for Atalanta. He demanded to leave, and he only left for like 5 million euros. Obviously, it's a different situation because Luis Alberto's contract's done in 2025, I believe. Let me just look at that again. Yeah, he just signed a new contract in September. So Lazio is in control here. I don't see us forking out 45 million only because we do not have the money, and I don't think we would pay that much for a 29-year-old player. But again, we'll see what arises. Like Cherubini said the other day, we'll seize market opportunities, whatever that means. What else we got going on here? Sackett said we never got to see CR7, Morata, and Dybala. Yeah, okay, that's true. And I don't really like. And what else did you say? I think Dybala will play that position. See, yeah, okay, fair enough. Let's talk about Dybala in that role. Of course, he has the offensive mind to play as an attacker. He rips defense open, like I said. He creates opportunities, goal contributions, yada yada yada. But is he willing to sacrifice some of that to have a good defensive shape? That was the whole quarrel with him and Allegri last time he was in charge. Um, Now, yes, of course, you want Dybala to start if he stays. If he's on the bench rotting away, a waste of money, of course. But Luis Alberto offers a little bit more flexibility, whereas Dybala is either the second striker right underneath the main number nine, or he's a double forward in a 4-4-2 or something. I don't see him like as a winger. He's useless out there. Like I said, he can't really defend. Um, he doesn't have like I personally don't think he's the fastest guy in the world. His dribbling's elite, of course, His passing is very good. The shot with his left foot is very good. His right foot, I don't know about that. Yeah, so the contrast between Dybala and Alberto would only be like you would start Alberto if you needed more defensive coverage, is what I'm trying to say. In a midfield as an advanced midfielder, I wouldn't start Dybala as an advanced midfielder against, let's say, in a Champions League game against Man City. I would not trust Dybala to come back and defend. That's all my point for you, Rob. Um, let's see what else is people are saying. Rob, you're saying Lazio will never sell. Yeah, exactly, 100%. Sackett says, also, I think it's better to splash whatever we have on Locatelli as Allegri plays the Regista. Yeah, for sure. I just, Sackett, I just wrote a piece for the Bianconeri Zone discussing everything about Locatelli and what he would bring to the team, to Juventus. That's coming out soon, so you can have a read of that. How would Alberto fit into Allegri's system? How would you compare him to Locatelli? Okay, so there's a good question. Thanks, Justin. So like I said before, Luis Alberto is more of an advanced midfielder, whereas Locatelli is more of a holding midfielder. In a 4-2-3-1, he would be the middle guy in the three. Alberto would be, and or as opposed to Locatelli wouldn't be there. He'd be as one of the double pivots. Totally different players, in my opinion. One is more attack-minded solely, and one is more well-rounded. Locatelli provides like just he's a monster. He's a defense early. He's good. He's combative midfielder. He breaks lines with his passes. Something I'll say a lot is the best pass a person can make in football is the one that eliminates the most players. And again, in my article, I illustrate that with the different pictures and different examples of why Locatelli is so good at this. So again, Luis Alberto, 100% I would take on Juventus depending on the economic situation. Right now, we can't afford him, obviously. Lazio doesn't like us usually. And Maurizio Sarri is the coach, like Hav said. Rav, sorry, no Hav. My bad. Yusufai Yaryu. Did I say that right? Sorry about that, man. Yusufai Yaryu. Locatelli is who we need, I guess. Yes, he's more of somebody that we need, like, immediately. In the immediate future, he is somebody that we need because he is better than Rabiot, he is better than Bentancur, he's better than McKennie, and he's better than Arthur. So if he's better than all four of those guys, he's starting, and he makes us better. I don't think Alberto would fit in very well into Allegri. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Sackett. I don't think Alberto would fit in very well either. But again, if the opportunity presented itself, I would 100% take him. Do we need him? No, we don't really need him, but he presents something that we actually don't have at this current moment. Because he is better than Ramsey, of course, and Ramsey's are really only attacking midfield. I don't consider Dybala an attacking midfield because he's more of a forward. He's more of just he stays up. Yeah, so that's all about what I got on Luis Alberto. I think we're going to talk about Ronaldo now, or Arthur. Let's talk about Arthur, because Arthur to PSG. Arthur to PSG. What do I think of that? I think that he should definitely go if an opportunity presents itself. I don't like how he's portrayed himself in his first year with the club. He looked out of shape when he first came. I don't know if that was because of like the whole Barcelona issue, like he got benched late on in the season. But what do I want? How do I make this light or say this perfectly? I think Arthur is lazy. It looks like he smokes a pack of cigarettes a day I remember watching a game against Bologna when he ran the whole length of the field once after 20 minutes, and his hands were on his knees, and he needed a one of those oxygen tanks that linemen use in football, American football. Um, what he Arthur does provide a good outlet, like he for the defenders, he always gets himself in a good spot, and he can dribble himself out. I always call him Verratti light. Like he tries to do what Verratti does. Obviously, he's not as good as Verratti. Defensively, he's just not even close. He can't play in a two-man midfield. He needs to be protected by two other players, so he needs to play a certain formation. And under Allegri, I he never keeps the same formation. So like, what Arthur would be deemed useless at that point. Um, I could see a deal coming in that for you would make sense for Juventus. I know I'm going to get some stick for this. I would swap Arthur for Icardi. And the main reason why I say that is because Icardi knows the league really well, Serie A. He doesn't need many touches, so Ronaldo can still have the ball if he's on the same time, he's on the field at the same time. And yeah, Sackett, I agree, huge waste. I was really happy when we first signed him, but you know what? I'm over him now. I said that before. I think I said that yesterday. I'm over Arthur. But yeah, so if the opportunity presented itself for Arthur to be swapped with Icardi, I would 100% be on board with that. They're about the same market value. I think they're both worth 40 million. PSG obviously don't need them. They got those stallions and Neymar, Mbappe, and Di Maria, and probably they're going to get signed more players because they can. Because why not? Um, Icardi would fit well in our team. He can hold the ball up when he wants to. Um, Obviously the only thing with Icardi is there's a couple things wrong with Icardi. His wife won, uh, his manager's wife. And the other thing is he just stays out of games for too long of a period, and that's also one of his strengths though, because anytime the ball pops up into the box, he's going to score. I remember one game I watched. He played Sampdoria. He scored two goals against Sampdoria, and he had like four touches total in the first half. And that blew my mind. I was like, how? And then I kept watching sometimes. I'm like, you know what? That's what he does. He just pops up and scores. He's not really linked in the build up. Like I said, if Ronaldo wants to have the ball out wide or do his little dribble thing, Icardi, a fox in the box, will score some goals, some easy goals in that. So if that presented itself, good. If PSG just wanted to buy Arthur, good. 40 million, we can maybe spend that somewhere else, maybe on another midfielder, because I don't think we're selling Ramsey, and I don't think we're selling Bentancur, and I hope we don't sell McKennie, and I hope we don't sell Rabiot. I actually don't mind Rabiot. Let's see what the chat's saying. Azijan, I hope I said that right. If we send Arthur to repair shop after that, he'll be great midfield. We can sell him for lots of money or keep him to win trophies. Yeah, well, that's like a main thing, right? He should have had surgery in May, and the calcification in his knee, it's just building up, and he wants to try without surgery, and the option was there. And if it doesn't do well, if his knee doesn't hold up during preseason, he's gonna have to have surgery anyway. So just a lot of problems with Arthur, and if we swap him with Icardi, it's another like more problems. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have Icardi because like at least Icardi doesn't really get hurt. Um, Justin says Interfan, Julian wants Icardi. Come on. I want Icardi, but like not because Inter. Sackett says maybe it's better to sign a younger striker and probably get some cash of Arthur instead of Icardi. Yeah, Sackett, I agree, but we don't know how PSG wants Arthur. If PSG just wants to swap, that's their call. And if they want money, that favors Juventus, obviously. And we can go after a younger striker. We can go after Vlahovic. We can go after Gabriel Jesus. We can go after, hopefully not Kyle George, because we probably need someone more established. Um, Talk more about Icardi's wife. I don't know if you're being serious about that, but yeah, Icardi's wife cheated on Maxi Lopez back in the day for 22-year-old Icardi, and she's been controlling him ever since. Um, Skamaka, I think I said yesterday, I'm not a fan of Skamaka, especially at the price he's at. Um, he's just a pretty boy, tattoos on his neck. I don't think he's that great. And personally, I remember the miss he had against Juventus that one or late in the season. He was right in front of the net. He just shot. He just scuffed his chance really badly. That's never going to get out of my head because if that's against Inter and he's playing for Juventus and he does that, he's going to get a lot of hate. And we need to have better established players than a Skamaka, in my opinion. What do you think about Awar for 20 mil? I 100% jump all over Awar. I know he had a bad year, but if he's going for peanuts, honestly, give Arthur to someone else for 30 million and take Awar because again, he's an attacking midfielder. He's more of an advanced player. Um, if we need that late in the game, if we need that to break another opposing team down, a stingy opposing team, then he'll be great to insert onto the field. He'll break lines with his passing. He'll actually get into pockets of space and get the ball on the half turn and dribble at players. Um, his final ball is pretty good, and his finishing is not bad for a midfielder. Um, so yeah, I would take Awar for that price. Obviously, he's still 24. He's still pretty young. Um, again, as I said, he did have a very bad year last year. I think that could be fixed. Obviously, um, Jeremy Bula says, "Is the Gabriel Jesus situation serious?" Um, are you talking about like him coming to Juventus or his red card that everyone hated and thought he should be banned for months, which is ridiculous? But if it's about Gabriel Jesus coming to Juventus, there was talk earlier in the window, because as soon as everyone or as soon as the um, what's it called? The insiders started reporting that Juventus wanted a younger striker that had a bit of a profile. Everyone's popping up. Oh yeah, Gabriel Jesus, and then it didn't also help that Harry Kane is supposed to go to Man City. So, and it also didn't help that Man City started playing Kevin De Bruyne as a false nine. So Gabriel Jesus's role in Man City is questioned right now. So if he is available, of course you'd want Juventus to be all over that. I could see a loan with obligation to buy, which was reported before. Um, I would jump all over the Gabriel Jesus train. He's a quick player, nifty player. He adds something different that we don't have currently. Um, he's young, like it was mentioned before, and I think he's available because of what I've mentioned. Harry Kane, they're going to go for Harry Kane, Man City. It's just, it is what it is. He says, Guardiola says they have no money. Obviously, you don't believe Man City doesn't have money. That's crazy. Um, and they played with a false nine last year, made it to a Champions League final, won the league. And what this is what I mean. So I think Gabriel Jesus could be available. I hope that if we do go for him, it is a loan with an obligation to buy, because I am a bit skeptical of Brazilian strikers in Serie A. I know that's kind of stereotypical, but it is what it is. Don't give me that Ronaldo stuff, because of course Ronaldo is a one-time thing. He's a generational player. I'm talking about Brazilian Ronaldo. Um, what else do we got going on here? Sackett says Awar has a big contract. We won't get him for less than 50 mil. So actually, French media is saying that he's available for 25 mil. It's not the English media. It's not Italian media. It's literally the French media that's saying this. And of course, they deem him a good player, but something went wrong there. I don't know what exactly. I'm gonna look him up right now, see what his market value is. Oh, and if you ever need some market value updates, go to transfermarket.eu. Um, it's usually got some good stuff there. Just pull it up. Husamuar. He's worth 42 million right now, according to this website. Euros, of course. I'm always talking about euros. Let's see, when is his contract over? His contract is done. He's still got 2 years left on his contract. So again, that does lower the price a bit, but to 25 mil, yeah, you hop all over it still, of course. What else have we got here? Danilo and Sandro, they both want, yeah, of course. Of course, Brazilians are going to want another Brazilian on their team. They obviously see something in him that would help Juventus out. Like I said before, Gabriel Jesus brings something different to Juventus. He's a dynamic player. He dribbles. He's good at running the channels. He's good at finishing. He scored over 50 Premier League goals. He's got a lot of experience. He would be a backup. Don't like it. Well, who do you want? Morata? Yeah, I like Morata, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, Cherubini the other day, he said we're going to only seize market opportunities. We're going to see who's going to come and who, like, I don't expect a lot of signings this summer. I think we mentioned that yesterday on the live show. It's tough because of the money. If we can sell players, then I obviously will be able to buy more. It all depends on what after the Euro and the Copa America, everything will start to make sense. Let's say the market will be defined after the Euro and the Copa America. What else we got going on? Get Sandro off our team, please. Unfortunately, he's the best guy we got. He's the best left back we got, or is Danilo? Oh my God, what a disaster our left backs are. And we got DeCilio and Pellegrini's coming back, and I guess Frabotta is still a thing, but I think he's on his way out. Sell Arthur and buy a War. Yeah, I'm game. I said that before. I'll take that all day. I agree with you, Rob. What did Rob say? You don't like him as a backup. Ah, you need some players to be a backup. What else we got? Home of Juve says, oh, Mitchell Bakker is better than Sandro. Okay, timeout. Mitchell Bakker is not better than Sandro. He's probably better than Frabotta and DeCilio, but he's not better than Sandro. Mitchell Bakker's still a young player. I remember he subbed in that one Champions League game against Real Madrid. He looked really bad, in my opinion. So we don't really need Mitchell Bakker. I don't want to swap Arthur for Mitchell Bakker. That's a wasted opportunity for asset management. You don't want to waste an asset like Arthur on a left back like Mitchell Bakker. I get he's young, but we can, like, Luca Pellegrini's young. You know what I mean? Just keep Luca Pellegrini at this point. He's Italian too. What else we got going? If we never got Morata loan, I would have liked Jesus. I guess, yeah, Jesus. I think the Morata business is smart. It's 10 million. 10 million for a 20 goal scorer. Like, you take that all day. A lot of people have crap on him. Obviously, everyone saw the remarks and the threats that were put on him and his family during the Euro Cup. Like, come on, man. That's crazy. There's no need for that. Like, it's a game. I know people, they put their heart and soul into supporting a team, but at the end of the day, like, football is just a game. There's no need for death threats. There's no need for that stuff. He's still a very good player. I still love that he's still on Juventus. I like the deal that was made, and I would still take Gabriel Jesus at the same time. It doesn't hurt to have players, especially if they're just on loan for a year. It doesn't hurt. That's what happened last year. I mentioned this yesterday. Our lack of forward depth killed us. Dybala was hurt for the majority of the season. Morata got a virus halfway through the year. Ronaldo's 36 years old, and Kulusevski playing at a top team for the first time in his career at 20 years old, played striker. We need something else. We don't have that we don't have that depth. We need more depth. What else we got cooking? I like Arthur. He has to get rid of the ball quicker. Yeah, yeah. He needs protection of he needs two guys in front of him that will protect him so he doesn't get tackled so easily. I'm just not a fan of Arthur. I was, but then I watched him play. I saw his attitude throughout the year, and I'm just not a fan anymore. Out. Rugani, DeShilio, Frabotta, Sandro, Ramsey, Arthur, Bentancur. Yeah, like, of course we all want that. Well, Costa's already gone. He's gone for free. Masterclass from Paratici. Rugani, if he goes anywhere, it's 3 million. Tops. If DeShilio goes, probably same price. Frabotta is going to go on loan. Sandro, in my opinion, this market, he needs to stay unless a massive overpay happens because we can't replace that unless a massive overpay happens. Ramsey, yeah, he's got to go. Arthur's got to go. Bentancur, the thing with Bentancur, he was really obviously everyone knows he was really bad last year. Everyone knows that. It doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. I think that was due to the 4-4-2. He's not comfortable collecting a ball. He needs to play a little bit higher up the pitch. And I would have liked to seen a 4-3-3 last year with Arthur as the holder, as the regista, Bentancur as the box to box, and honestly, who cares who our advanced midfielder was because like Ramsey stinks. So yeah. So where are we going next? I don't know why still keeping Ronaldo. I don't. Okay, so you don't know why we are still keeping Ronaldo? I think it's because no one else wants to pay for him. Personally, I see why that's the case. I think I explained yesterday again. His plus valenza for us would be 85 million euros or so, and I don't think anybody wants to pay him 31 million net a year. He's 36 years old. He's still pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, he's probably a top 15 player in the world. Um, he is still the second best player to ever kick a ball, but currently he's 36 and he's limited to what he can do right now. So that's the major reason why I think he's staying is because nobody else wants him, not because Juventus is like, oh yeah, please stay. They're not desperate. Um, Home of Juve signed Pogba, Awar, Vlahovic, Gosens, Bakker, and Locatelli. Yeah, if it was FIFA, I probably did that this year on FIFA 21. To be honest, I probably signed all those players except for Bakker. Just there's no way this year we can do it. It's not possible. Ronaldo is a good player next season, free agent. Yep, yep, you're right. Yes, he's world class. Okay. Letting go of Ronaldo is the worst thing we can do right now. The team is very dependent on him. Well, I think that's the point. If we sell him, we won't be dependent on him, and we'll actually play some free ball in soccer. I think we saw against Bologna, we saw Kulusevski, Chiesa, Dybala, Morata just absolutely torch those guys or that team. Um, should you take Pjanic for free? No. I said this yesterday. No, he's just not. He's not that guy anymore. He's just not worth the money. Not worth the it. It's not worth it at this point. Even if his salary was halved and Barcelona took half his salary, there's no. Because I saw that report today. I was like, oof, no. Just let's get that out of our minds. Pjanic should not be coming. Um, let's go back to the Ronaldo stuff. Of course, nobody's complaining if he stays, but nobody's complaining if he leaves either. It's me and Justin talked about this yesterday. Um, his stats speak for themselves. He scored 36 goals. He also missed 28 big chances, the most in all of the top 5 leagues. He scores all of our penalties. So I think I did the math. if he didn't take all of our if he didn't take penalties in, like, if he wasn't the penalty taker and Morata was, Morata would be, I think, 2 goals off. So, I mean, yes, he contributes a lot of goals. Yes, he is the main focus of the opposing team. But I wouldn't be sad if he left. If we don't get Julian some more mother flipping likes, thanks, Justin. Azizan, would you take Pjanic for free? No, I that ship sailed, man. I don't know if you're Bosnian. You might be Bosnian. I don't know. I don't want to assume that, but you're pushing this Pjanic propaganda. It's just no. Let's move on. We moved on from other players. Like, if we moved on from Pogba, we can move on from Pjanic. That's what I'm gonna say. Jeremy Bula says, "What do you think our 11 starters will be this coming season?" So, if we are talking about no one's left yet and no one's come yet, so I'm not going to include Locatelli. I'm not going to include, obviously, the players who we think are leaving. Allegri, at the later stages of his Juventus coaching career, he did do a 4-2-3-1, and I assume he'll continue with this only because it's what he knows right now, and then he hasn't learned the players yet, the current players. So in goal, we have the Polish man Wojciech Szczesny, butchered his name. And then at this point, it's still Alexandro left back. It's still Chiellini, because what a monstrous performance he's put on in the Euro. Still the best one-on-one defender, in my opinion. Back to goal, forwards back to goal. Chiellini's still the best at defending. He puts Lukaku in his pocket. I expect him to put Kane in his pocket on Sunday. We're also, oh yeah, sorry. Right center back would be Bonucci or De Ligt. I prefer De Ligt only because if he doesn't start in his third season, we got an issue. I still want Cuadrado as a right back. I still see him as a very good right back, very offense-oriented right back, attack-oriented. The holders right now in the double pivot in my opinion, should still be Rabiot and Bentancur, because I think Allegri can get more out of Bentancur. Obviously, if we get Locatelli, one of those guys get pushed out. So I'm talking current players on the roster. Left wing, Chiesa. Center forward, so right under the main striker, Dybala. And on the right, Kulusevski. I love Kulusevski. I think this guy's going to be an absolute stud. You saw what he did in the Euro Cup. You saw what he did in the last few months of the season with Juventus, and especially in the Coppa Italia. Wow. Especially against, I just said it, Bologna. I think he's going to be an absolute baller. He just needs to learn how to make his the final ball click every time. Obviously, if he was like that, more people would recognize him. He'd be probably in the same breath as Phil Foden if he had the final ball. And the striker, as of this point, it's Ronaldo, of course. So I hope that answered your question, Jeremy. Right now, I can't really comment on the incoming transfers except for Locatelli, because that one seems like the only one that's bound to happen, knock on wood. Very superstitious. So we got, would you sell CR7 for Vlahovic and Pogba? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would sell Ronaldo for Vlahovic and Pogba. You instantly upgrade your midfield again, and you get a striker that scored a 21-year-old striker that scored 20 plus goals in Serie A. Of course. Another player we're losing for free next year. We tend to do that a lot. Oh, yeah, okay. Selling Bentancur is currently pointless until Boca Juniors clause is up. Yeah, I agree, Justin. I still think he deserves one last chance under Allegri, in my opinion. I'm talking about Bentancur. Nigel says, what the left back from Germany? I'm going to need you to clarify what you mean by that. So probably, unless you're talking about Gosens. Nigel, if you want to clarify and say Gosens, let me know. Home of Juve says, what if CR7 and Dybala both leave? So one of them's definitely, like, at this point, Ronaldo's the one who's going to be leaving and Dybala's staying. He's going to sign his contract. I don't know how you turned down 10 million after the season you just had. I'm speaking about Dybala. He barely played. He was sick, like he was actually physically ill. A lot of muscle problems. So if we are actually offering 10 mil, he better take it. I don't, and I don't see why he wouldn't. Taking Juventus taking back Pjanic while retaining Arthur would be a masterclass by Barca. uh, that'd be funny. Death Clutch. Do you mean Christian Romero? If you mean Christian Romero, that deal was pretty much done. Atalanta activated his clause to buy him permanently. I think it was only 16 million euros, so I think we lost out there. Um, Listen, Christian Romero, he had a good game against Juventus when we played Genoa one time, and he shut down Ronaldo for a bit. Um, Obviously, we loved him so much that we wanted to buy him for a lot of money. I think it was like 28 million. Um, so, and to be fair, when we loaned him out to Atalanta, he was never playing for Juventus that season. Like this past season, he was never playing for us. He was still behind. He was still behind Chiellini, Bonucci, Demiral, and De Ligt. He was going to be behind four central defenders, and when you play with only two, you're like playing Coppa Italia games. That's it. Like Dragusin. You would have been partners with Dragusin in the Coppa Italia against Spal. That's what Romero would have been on our team. But he came out of his shell. He performed. He was the defender of the year for Serie A, and he proved Juventus wrong. He proved Juventus wrong, and that's one where we lost out on. He starts for Argentina, I'm pretty sure, in the Copa America. Um, yeah, and I'll say we lost that deal. We lost that deal hands down. Now Atalanta's probably going to sell him for 50 mil, so they're going to make some bank, and they're going to buy someone else. That's a very well-run club. Anytime we do business with them, we got to watch out. What else we got going on here? Home of Juve says De Ligt, Chiellini, Bonucci are top three best defender. Like in the team or in the world? Because if it's the world, obviously not. But on Juventus, yeah, definitely. Cena says, I will be sad if Ronaldo stays. I know it's not going to work out. Now, is this coming from a Ronaldo FC fan or is this coming from an actual Juventus supporter? Like, are you sad it's going to not work out for Juventus or Ronaldo? We need to know the difference. Because if you think it's just not going to work out for Ronaldo, then you just support a team, man. If it's not going to work out for Juventus, 100%. We saw it last year. Yes, he scored his 36 goals. Yes, he won the Capocannoniere as a top scorer. But what did we win? We won a Coppa Italia and a Super Coppa Italiana. We didn't win Serie A. We didn't do well in Champions League. We were too dependent. What else do we got here? So next season I will watch Bentancur back passes again. Honestly, at this point, probably not, because we'll see Locatelli come get the ball, and Bentancur will be more advanced than, let's say, Locatelli. But that's obviously banking on Locatelli coming. Bentancur is more more suitable to a box-to-box role. He's not a goal-scoring midfielder by any means, but it is not going to work for. Yeah, okay. So like I said, Cena, there you go. So sorry, let me just get back to home of Juve. So yeah, you're gonna have to watch Bentancur. He's still not going anywhere. Um, as I said, a box-to-box midfielder works out way better. Works more for him than as a regista when he's collecting the ball. He's never side on. What I mean by that is back is always towards the opposition goal. He's never side on collecting the ball on his front foot. He's never looking forward, and that's his major issue. So as a box-to-box midfielder, you almost certainly have to be side on. You almost have to be looking everywhere with your peripherals. You have to sneak your peek to see who's behind you. You have to do these things as a box-to-box. As a regista, he got too comfortable just coming towards the two center backs, and so I think okay, time out. I was about to say he'll thrive under Allegri. I think he'll be better than what he was this past season, only because it can't get any worse. How's that? And that's my Bentancur talk for today. Um, Ronaldo is staying because of his salary. Yes, 100%. Thank you for answering your questions. Big up to you. Yeah, no problem, Jeremy. Come back anytime. Subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. Um, oh yeah, I hate Romero. He disrespected his former club. Uh, I mean, which former club? Juventus? I don't get it. Genoa? I don't know what you're talking about, so I can't really comment. Cena. Oh yeah, so sorry, man. Sorry, Cena. You're a real one, bro. um, Azijan says, is Ronaldo problem or his salary? It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. His salary is way too much, and we can't put it anywhere else into the squad. Um, his his demand for the ball all the time also hinders the squad because we cannot play as a team. We have to play as a Ronaldo. um, Obviously, it's worked out for him in his career, of course. Like the team's won because the team catered to him, except those teams have just had better players. Like when he's on Real Madrid, he's had Toni Kroos, he's had Karim Benzema, he's had Luka Modric, Marcelo in his prime. Here he has Alexandro, not in his prime. He has Rodrigo Bentancur not turning with the ball. So that's so for this. I think I wrote this in a couple of my articles for the website. Ronaldo's timeline did not match Juventus's timeline, and it's a shame that happened because, like I said, we had the second greatest player to ever kick a ball on our team, and we did waste it, but he also wasted his opportunities as well. He could have changed his way of playing, but the way that champion mentality, he was never going to do that, and he had to make do with what he had. So it's a bit of both to answer your question, Azijan. He is the problem and his salary is the problem, but it's not solely his problem. He's not the sole problem. Cena's giving a little kiss, probably to Justin. The fact that we have fake and real fans, I don't know why they changed their clubs. It's Ronaldo FC, so it is what it is, right? Um, they have their own fan base. I found it always bizarre. I'm gonna take that back because I follow LeBron, and wherever he goes, I go. But that's not my favorite sport, so I think it's a little bit different. Um, my favorite sport is football, like soccer, like obviously European football, and I don't have a single favorite player. I don't follow a single player. I follow Juventus, of course. I'm literally doing a talk show on Juventus. Um, but I don't understand Ronaldo FC. If that is their favorite sport, I don't understand why you like one player. What happens when he retires? Uh, so if he retires, do you stop watching the game? Or do you just go into everyone's comments still and saying, yeah, Ronaldo would have done this? I don't get that. But that's for another day. We're talking about the Mercato. Um, what name do I have on the back of that shirt? Wouldn't you like to know, Justin? It's your American pal and mine, Weston McKennie. I'm not going to get up right now and show you because it's going to be reversed anyway. See the balla? It's McKennie. um, I don't like Bentancur because he cost it. Yeah, of course, home of Juve, of course. Um, Very naive mistake he made, like a very, very naive mistake. Um, that's just not the role he's meant to play in. He's never meant to be a regista. He's always meant to be a box-to-box combative midfielder. We'll see changes next year. I'd like to plug the transfer meter show that's going to happen Monday. That shows basically what we do. Like we hear all the rumors. Like let's say for example, Dusan Vlahovic was rumored to come to to Juventus. We'll give it a percent out of 100. So let's say like 40%, and then we'll give our thought and so on and so forth. Whoever has been linked in the most recent days. So that comes on Mondays. Obviously, you see the time there. I'm not sure. I can't speak to everyone on this time zone, but for us, it's I think 7 a.m. I don't know, Justin. You can comment. Federico Chiesa, Freddie Church says, "Yo, what up, Freddie?" Right there with you. Home of Juve, to each his own, but I couldn't imagine switch to. Yeah, okay. Freddie Church, better hit that like and subscribe. I don't care about plastic fans only. Only Juve. Yeah, exactly. I deserve the Ballon d'Or if Italy wins the Euro. Honestly, I said I said this to my group of buddies. I like from where I'm from Stony Creek, Ontario. I'm getting a lot of this. He's a generational talent, Freddie or Federico Chiesa. He's an exceptional player. He's had a very good season. He's 23 years old. Now let's think about what generational means. Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, those are generational players. Erling Haaland has a goal per game ratio as a 20-year-old for Borussia Dortmund and in the Champions League. That's generational. Kylian Mbappe scored 4 World Cup goals when he was 19 years old, and he's continued his rise ever since. He had a bad Euro. Okay, it happens. He's still generational. He's still a young player. Federico Chiesa, I can't say. I know he's not a generational player. Like I said, he's an exceptional player. He'll only get better from here, and he's a game changer. He's a catalyst. You need a spark, he'll provide it. To say he's generational though would be an insult to like actual generational players like a Ronaldo, like a Messi, like a Haaland, like an Mbappe. So I'm gonna disagree with you there, Freddie. Justin says, diehard Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland again, Los Angeles fan. Yep. How much many, does that mean money? Probably money. How much money we have for transfers? I'm honestly gonna say zero right now. Like we actually have zero to spend right now. And that's only because of COVID and what happened this year with no fans in the stands. Um, we lost a lot of money, and that's why the Super League was proposed. Obviously, I don't want to get into that today because it's a Mercato show. When I first joined Juve, they called me the new Berna. Yeah, 100% they did. And I'm going to be honest for a second. When we first signed, okay, so actually, I'm going to tell a story about Chiesa. About 2 years ago, a journalist or a pundit called Mina Arzuki tweeted that she thought Federico Chiesa was worth 100 million euros. This was 2 years ago. Okay, so he's still in Fiorentina. He's still playing. He's still scoring like 9 goals a year. He's still playing as a wing back. Not really seen. Not on the national team yet. And I commented that is the most outrageous take I've ever seen in my life. And I usually listen to Skip Bayless talk about LeBron James. So you could only imagine. And I've seen English people talk about Italian and about Serie A and whatnot. So that bit me in the butt because Chiesa is a baller. He's worth every penny they spent on him. He's miles better than Bernardeschi ever was. Actually, Bernardeschi was probably better at Fiorentina than Chiesa was, and when we bought him. That's a little bit of a hot take, but he was very good at Fiorentina. Bernardeschi was. Um, but Chiesa's a baller, man. He's sick. I'm so happy he's on the team now. That's one take I will. I apologize for saying he was way overvalued. What else we got? You can see the transfer meter when I damn well feel like posting. True. uh, Justin, you do your shows on. Well, there's a time right there. Oh, that's it changed to daily news show. Um, what else do you guys want to talk about? We're gonna do whatever the fans want to talk about for another couple minutes, and then we'll end the show today. Again, the transfer season is gonna liven up starting next week after the Euro Cup and Copa America are over. Um, you can only imagine how excited we are to bring those shows to you. As soon as something pops up, we're gonna have reaction right away. And any new updates, like brand new updates. follow the Bianconerizone account. We have everything. Did you say Locatelli will not come to us? Why won't explain that? Why won't he come to us? He said he wants to only come to this club and this club only. Getting rid of Ronaldo is the best thing to do right now. His goals are easy to make up when the team is actually allowed to play. Yeah, I said this yesterday, I believe. And sorry, the fix was always in. I don't know if you're referring to 2006 Calciopoli when you say the fix was always in. But yeah, getting rid of Ronaldo. Again, if we're gonna go back to the Ronaldo thing, we can talk about Ronaldo all day. My view will not change. Luis Alberto and Locatelli would be nice. Yeah, of course. Luis Alberto, again, I think he's more of a luxury player, but he would fit in. He would be something that we also don't have on Juventus, something like Gabriel Jesus, like I mentioned earlier. Cena, no problem, man. Yeah, I know we have no money. Gabriel Jesus, Vlahovic, Icardi, which one do you think is the best option? Okay, that's actually a really good question, Azijan. So, for the way Allegri likes to play, I'm going to go ahead and say that Dusan Vlahovic would be the best option because he can defend from the front. And what I mean by that is he can press if he needs to press. He can hold a shape when he can hold it. He's not really a lazy player, whereas Icardi is more of a lazy player. Gabriel Jesus is more of a lazy player when it comes to defending. When it comes to when they have the ball, Gabriel Jesus is energetic as it comes. But um, so yeah, so that the best option out of those three, out of Jesus, Vlahovic, and Icardi, would be Vlahovic, in my opinion. The best economic situation, the best like business transaction we could probably make would be Arthur for Icardi because it'd be a straight swap and just salaries. Um, Jesus or Jesus would be a loan. So Vlahovic would be a loan originally as well, but he'd be probably be more money in the end. Um, in terms of what a comment. I love that, Federico Chiesa. I love that. No to Icardi because he will steal my girlfriend. That's probably the comment of the day. Good for you. Um, but yeah, so maybe on Monday the transfer meter show we'll have Vlahovic, we'll have Icardi, we'll have Jesus. We'll see what happens in the future. Again, like I said, as soon as the game's over on Sunday, there'll be a reactionary Monday, and then Tuesday news will start popping out left, right, and center, and we'll get going because it's been kind of boring for the most part so far. Lots of Locatelli. Locatelli deal will get done after the Euro Cup. We know that. There's a meeting scheduled next week. Um, he, if he doesn't come, I don't know what to say at this point. That means we have just absolutely no money. Montblanc 99.9% Cardi. Um, yeah, Zijan, no problem, dude. You're never alone when you have Jesus. Oh my God, you guys are funny. I like that. It's good banter. Um, oops. Sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah. So again, follow our Twitter account at bianconerizone.com or not .com at bianconerizone. Uh, it's it provides every source possible, even like just mainly the good ones. If anything comes up, they'll post it, but we know what's good and what's not. Great articles on the website. Great articles from the writing staff on there. Um, Justin and I provide some content. If you just want to read something, if you want to look at our ugly mugs, we're going to be doing live shows as much as possible for until the end of the Mercato. Um, and yeah, guys. So really looking forward to this. Um, See you next time, and see you next week actually, because today's Friday, and Forza Azzurri. Let's go, boys. See you next week.